focus on small games of chance. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me this hour is Pennsylvania State Representative Sheryl Delozier. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for the invitation.
This is an issue we've talked about in the past, but there has been some movement as it relates to small games of chance. First of all, let's define what they actually are. What are small games of chance?
Small games of chance is a law that was passed in 1988 that allowed the clubs and nonprofit organizations to have small games of chance, which are like pull tabs, raffle wheels, those types of things that they can basically bring in dollars, and the 1988 law made them give 100% back to the community.
So these are VFWs or fire halls, those types of clubs that would have these fundraisers.
Correct. And there's two levels. There's the clubs that have liquor license like VFWs, possibly a fire company, American Legions, those types. And there's also the ones that you think of more commonly with our schools, PTOs, baseball clubs, and those types of things that also try to raise money as well, that also need a small games of chance license.
Now, the funds from these do go back into the community.
Yes, and what the new, the House Bill 169, the capability at this point in time, like I said, the bill was passed in 1988. We're trying to update it and increase the threshold from $5,000 to $30,000, which is needed. Right at this time, we're facing, we talk about all types of levels of government that don't have the dollars to be doing, getting dollars back into the community. That's what these organizations do. They take the dollars, they raise the money, and they give it to our community organizations, supporting baseball teams, supporting parades, supporting veteran organizations. And I think that's what we really need to do, give them that capability of helping our communities.
Now, this is something that is already in place. This legislation essentially raises that threshold?
Correct. It allows them at this point, when in 1988, $5,000 a week seemed an average threshold. At this point in time, the capability of them raising money and giving that little bit back to the community is a positive, so raising that to $30,000. One of the other issues that deals with in this bill is the capability for the clubs to be able to keep about 30%, it's a 70-30 split with the recently changed bill, and allows them to keep 30% for operational expenses. And so you can't have an organization working properly if you don't have a roof over their head. So we allowed them to have that, and that's something that they very much wanted.
Now, this is actually something that has passed in the House before, but not in the Senate. Where does this stand at this point?
At this point in time, I feel very confident because at this the Senate has passed a version as well, so that's good news because they're talking about it. They realize that we need to make these changes. So what I'm hoping is that the work that we've done for the last 6 months on this bill and making the changes that were recently made in committee is a compromise. We've brought the administration to the table, we've brought the state agencies to the table, the clubs, the taverns, everybody, and listened to what their concerns were. And I don't think that's been done in the past. So I'm feeling very confident, and hopefully this compromise will work forward through the Senate and get the governor's signature.
Now, this is a specific piece of legislation. Not all what we may think of as small games of chance are actually included in this legislation.
Correct. The typical people think at fire halls bingo, that is a separate law and a separate act that would need to be modified in any way. But this is separate from that and strictly dealing with the small games of chance. The licenses come through our county treasurers. We work with the Treasurers Association as well to make sure that it was something that they could deal with easily. And so we have everybody on board, and that's what I'm hoping that the compromise will move forward.
Now, if this does move forward, who oversees this? Who enforces this? Because some people would consider this a form of gambling.
Sure. And in the past, and still continue to be the LCE, the Liquor Control Enforcement Officers, that go into any of the clubs that have liquor licenses and go in and check the books. And that was one of the things that were required by the administration in order to sign the bill, was stronger enforcement. And I had no problem with that because the whole point of this is to allow for dollars to go back into the community correctly. We don't need someone overstepping their bounds or doing what they don't need to do. So the LCE officers will still be out there and doing what they need to do.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Pennsylvania State Representative Sheryl Delozier. I'm Jill Horner.